Time to play the Fwoosh. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and yeah, it's Monday. It's coming in late. I was recording the weekly last Friday. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, and someone may or may not have forgotten to turn on a microphone. So the sound may or may not have been non-existent. And someone may or may not have been so pissed off that didn't want to record it again. Yup, heads rolled, right? Oh, it won't happen again, I swear. So hopefully we won't go through that again today, because nobody wants to see this. Let's talk a little bit about a lot of stuff. I'm not even going to name the companies this time. I'm just going to go for it. First up last week was Chris Hemsworth's, the dude that plays Thor's, birthday. Tamashii Nation sent out a tweet wishing Chris a happy birthday with a picture of the SH Figuarts Avengers Infinity War Thor. And it simply said, coming soon, which I thought, okay, we'll find out some info. It wasn't even a week. A couple days later, magazine scan showed up showing that Thor will release in January, but it'll be a Soul Web exclusive. So a little bit harder to get, but I figure Bluefin, well, hopefully Bluefin will bring this in, even though we'll talk about Bluefin here in a minute. Thor will cost about $66, and like I said, it comes in January. Also coming in January would be Wasp from Ant-Man and Wasp. We saw this a couple months ago at a show. It's with Ant-Man, and then over in the US, here, well, over in the US, over here, Ant-Man will be coming through Bluefin with an ant. Not sure if Wasp is going to get that same kind of US release, because Wasp is also a Soul Web exclusive. But she'll be running about $64 and release also in January. That's kind of weird that they do right on top of each other. And then there's also the Figuarts Avengers Infinity War Super Duper Edition of Iron Man Mark 50. It's got the blade arms, it has the wings that plug into the back, he's got the mega super duper feet that clamp down and hold him down. Also a Soul Web exclusive. It's just weird. They're just, okay, we know Avengers, well, not all the Avengers have been regular releases, have they? Now he's $86 and he'll release in March, but like I said, Bluefin will probably solicit these in the US and other territories, but Bluefin has been acting a little bit funky lately. A couple weeks ago we talked about the Dragon Ball Z Mr. Satan, also a Soul Web exclusive, will be coming out through Bluefin in March. But in order for retailers to order Mr. Satan from Bluefin, they also have to take a certain amount of the blue and yellow aura effects. And apparently that's the same for the Hulkbuster 2.0. In order to get a full case of Hulkbusters, which is 4 pieces, retailers have to spend $1,000 on other Marvel product from Bluefin. If they want just one piece, they have to buy another $250 worth of Marvel stuff from Bluefin. I can see where they're coming from. They may be sitting on a lot of stock that they want to get rid of, but it's kinda, I don't know, to have retailers, well, you have to order this stuff in order to get this special new stuff. There's strange things afoot over at Bluefin. Former Mattel designer Jason Langston has been posting even more promotional shots of upcoming DC Multiverse figures. A lot of these were shown at San Diego, but it's nice to see promotional shots too. He showed off the Gotham by Gaslight Batman. It's a 100% new sculpt, which is obvious. It's got the wrinkles and stuff. I'd like to see this body used for maybe a first appearance Batman, other things, but first we'll have to worry about getting the Gotham by Gaslight Batman from him. It's got interchangeable hands, it's got throwing knives, it's got an actual, he calls it a leatherette, a soft goods cape. I figured the shoulder things are plastic, well, I don't know. Would those sure would hinder shoulders if it was hanging down over it. Maybe the whole thing's leatherette. I don't know. There's Vixen, who is on the new female body, but she also, of course, has a unique head. It's Vixen. She needs her to look like Vixen. But she has a new upper torso, I'm guessing for the necklace. She has new lower legs for the boots, of course, and then the claw hand. Hot girl, I'm loving this design. I think this is the Rebirth design. I don't care. I just love a good looking hot girl. She's got new ball jointed wings, and I'm glad they didn't use those old DC-UC wings, or I think they used them in several lines, where they went up, then they hung down. These kind of go out, but the more I think about it, the more real estate this is going to take on the shelf. But you know what? I don't even care. It just looks good. She's got new lower arms. She has new lower torso to accommodate the new belt. But at the time of this posting, it hadn't actually been approved by DC, so things may change before it actually comes out. Rebirth Katana, again. I've gotten to, I haven't read a lot of DC in a long time, so slight costume changes or different looks, as long as the character's essence is there, I'm good with it. They can look a little bit different than the classic looks, and that's where I fall on the Katana? On that there Katana figure. Partially new tooling, she'll come out in 2019. Same thing for Rebirth Black Canary. It looks like Black Canary. I guess I'm getting old. I'm as long as it's close, whatever. She comes with a smirking head, kind of that cocky, I'm about to kick your ass look. And then if I have to, I'm gonna use my powers. She comes with a screaming head too. Now I'm not even gonna get into the, Mattel may or may not release these within the next 5 years, because there's more Mattel stuff to talk about. Big Bad Toy Store has put up a solicitation for the Mattel Signature Collection Lynda Carter Wonder Woman. We saw promotional pictures of this a while back. We were hoping that the thighs would change. They're still using those same promotional pictures. What is up with do the robot legs open up and rockets fire out or something? I don't know. But even Big Bad Toy Store is kind of, Mattel may or may not release stuff. According to their website, it says, Mattel has accepted our order, but is not able to guarantee that they will be able to fill it. Please pre-order with us only if you accept the risk that the pre-order may be canceled if unfulfilled by November. What? They're even giving Mattel an ultimatum. By November, this better be out. We ain't putting up with your bullshit. And then finally, if you head over to Pixel Dan's YouTube channel, he was at PowerCon this weekend. Mattel did show Jaga and Groon from Thundercats, and they may or may not think about releasing some more Thundercats along with these two that were shown way back with the first wave. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Robo don't know Power Rangers. I know, but in the mid-90s, I was drunk a lot. I hate to say that, but yep. But as everybody knows, Hasbro acquired the Power Rangers license recently. We knew stuff was coming. We just didn't know how cool it would look. Even guys that have no idea about Power Rangers. I'm down for good toys. You make a good action figure, boom, I'm there. And that's what we have with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, which is... it's Power Rangers Black Series. That's where we're at. They showed off the White Ranger with the alternate Tommy head. They will be using photo real on the human heads. That's awesome. Again, I'm there even though... what's a Power Ranger? He's got the sword. He's got alternate hands. He has dynamic weapon effects. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's some swoosh or some whoosh or some whoosh, whoosh for his weapon. I don't know, but it sounds cool. And for you guys into that kind of thing, on the Fwoosh forums, it was posted an actual raw sculpt of the figure. I love seeing it in grayscale. It lets me see the little wrinkles, the little details, and this may make me watch some Power Rangers or read the new comic book, which I've been hearing good things about. No price point yet. I'm figuring it's about the same as Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series 2025. And it will release sometime in the spring. Robo also don't know Overwatch. I know that Good Smile has put out some figmas of the other characters from the game. I haven't picked any of those up. But when it comes to D.Va, I know I see a lot of cosplay of this character when I'm out at conventions. So apparently she's popular. And it seems like Figma has given it the old college try in getting a lot of the characters from the game instead of just doing, the certain ones and then leaving the rest. Hopefully, as far as my limited knowledge goes, there's quite a few characters in this game. And all toyetic, same as D.Va. Now, no release information yet. They said all information will be released August 30th. I think that's coming this week. What month is this? So I'll be able to babble on about other stuff I have no clue about this Friday. Mezco solicited their 1/12 Collective X-Men Cyclops. We saw this at Toy Fair. I'm always down for more X-Men. I'll take X-Men any way I can get them. And even though Cyclops isn't my favorite, he's just the pent-up rage, Boy Scout, let's do good. He's still kind of a badass, and I love him in action figure form. Especially when we get extras where it actually shows his power. We haven't been getting that with Marvel Legends, where it shows his power effect. That's what drew me the most to this figure. Because yeah, it has the little tech details, I'm good with that. The only thing that throws me off is the lack of trunks. I kind of wish that was there to break up the bodysuit, but what you gonna do? It's essentially what we saw from the Toy Fair catalog, except he now has a leather jacket, which is that, of course this is the 90s Cyclops. Why not go even further 90s and give him a leather jacket? Now the big thing that caught people off guard is the light up feature. Not so much the light up feature, but is that the reason that this figure is $100? Yes, a jump in price point, especially when we're getting Iron Man also with a light up feature for $90. It's less than Cyclops is. But Cyclops, I don't know if his LED is, restrained to his head or if it's in the body and it goes up through a light pipe to the head. But apparently there's two heads, both light up, because he also comes with 4 sets of goggles, and it's actually interchangeable from the head. The goggles go on the face. There's the regular pair, there's the pair that's kind of smoking, which is, I love that look, I love it. He's got a regular blast, and then he has a super mega blast. And like I said, with the mega blast, if it lights up all the way out without having to go, pitch black, and there's a little tint of red, I'm good if the effect works. And then several sets of hands, including the iconic 2-finger pushy on the visor piece. Also for Mezco, Doctor Strange should be processing either right now or sometime this week. I've been waiting a long time for this figure. I needs it in my collection. If you're a fan of NECA, if you're a fan of Doom, get a hold of NECA and Doom, because apparently NECA is interested in doing action figures for Doom. That's all I got. Head back over here. Another thing we've seen pop up at shows before, they just put it in the case, no information, but that's the Bandai Star Wars model kit Unmasked Darth Vader. It looks like essentially the same model kit, but there apparently are some changes. Of course, there's the unmasked head, and it will be using that triaxial jet finish. Each company has their own little name for their head printing technology. But this being, the pale, chalky white, I think it'll work a little bit better here. The Luke and the Han came out okay. They don't really match, but I have high hopes for it here. To continue the Return of the Jedi motif of the figure, he has an option for a severed hand. It shows the little circuitry and stuff sticking out of the wrist. The details on the chest box are different. Not super different. Most of the basics are there, but it has a different look to it. I love Star Wars, don't get me wrong, but I've never looked into the differences of Darth Vader's costume movie to movie, especially Empire and Return of the Jedi. I know the helmet's a little bit different, but I've never looked at the other differences. Apparently, it's a little bit different. And then the biggie for a lot of people would be the rubber cape. It's still not gonna get up and out of the way, but I feel like the rubber's a better option than the hard candy shell that the original kit came with. I haven't been able to find any details on release, but with the Astromechs coming in, I think it's November and December, we still have 2 Astromechs that haven't been solicited yet. Maybe Darth Vader will slip in there in between them and be January, February, somewhere in there, I'm guessing. And I'm also guessing about $30. Diamond Select put up a couple of solicitations this week. Well, they do some statues and stuff, but I don't talk about statues. I talk about action figures. First up would be the Marvel Select Jim Lee Rogue. It looks to fit right along with the other X-Men figures we've gotten in the Marvel Select line so far, I think. Are they all? No, I think Cyclops is earlier era, isn't he? But she comes with interchangeable hands, a bare right hand, and then a left hand holding the right glove in the hand. It also comes with a diorama piece from the Danger Room that connects with the other Danger Room pieces from previous Marvel Select figures. That'll be $23 and releases in February. Also, the Real Ghostbusters Select Wave 10 with Ray, Peter, and Stay Puft, and the more diorama pieces for the Firehouse, those come out in February. I haven't collected any of the series, but I'm interested in the Real Ghostbusters. They just have that, they look different. I didn't watch a lot of the cartoon, but I like how each dude got a different colored costume. That's my jam. If you're interested in the whole set, Big Bad Toy Store has it for $66, but I'm sure you can get the individuals too. And then in probably the most uninspiring promo shot I've seen in a while. I mean, if Mattel's, putting out fancier, more, oh yeah, I need those promotional shots, you need to up your game a little bit. But here's the Diamond Select John Wick. And even though he's not pictured with any of his accessories, the listing says weapon accessories, and then dog, which we did see at San Diego a couple weeks ago. I keep thinking it was like months ago, but nope, it was just a few weeks ago. That'll be about $23, $24, and also comes out in February. But not to be outdone, Medicom went on an absolute tear last week with the solicitations. They said, hey, you got a John Wick? We got a John Wick too. We already had a John Wick. Now we have a John Wick 2. See what I did there? Now the MAFEX John Wick Chapter 2 comes with 2 heads. Now, oh my god, they're so Keanu. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, man, I need a Bill and Ted from MAFEX. Some Point Break MAFEX? Damn, yeah, that too. Utah, give me 2. But there's a normal head, there's a damaged head, of course. He has 2 pistols, He has a shotgun. He has a machine gun. Comes with the dog. It kind of looks like there's articulation, but I don't think there is. I think it's just the separate parts stuck together. And then he comes with the pencil. I've seen a lot of people asking about the pencil. There you go. Medicom's got you covered. And then as far as the body goes, the suit, man, if it's as good as the MAFEX, Scarecrow, and Harvey Dent that I just got, I'm down for that. Those are so good. I wish import figures were a little bit cheaper so I could switch out bodies on Coulson, Agent Smith. Right, if I had an Agent Smith, I would make it Agent Smith if I had more suit bodies. But Medicom's kind of creeping up in the price with their MAFEX. They're getting a little bit big for their britches, I think. They're like, oh, we fixed a lot of our QC issues. We should charge a little bit more. Calm down, Medicom. You don't want to price customers out this early in the game. You still got a lot to offer. Because they also solicited the Mafexio Alien. Now, this has great detail to it. The sculpt looks amazing, but is the articulation a little bit hindered, or did they do this on purpose, you know, to kind of simulate that dude in a suit look from the movie? I am an alien. Now, I can't tell if it's an alternate head or if it's an alternate jaw piece. I don't think it's articulated. It looks like one seamless sculpt. Maybe it is two heads. They figured, hey, with the articulation like it is, maybe we'll throw in a whole big-ass head. But it's got the open jaw. It looks like the second mouth comes in and out of it. But what gets me, for whatever reason, is the face hugger and the chest burster. Those look amazing. I would like to, you know, randomly put those in my display in different places day to day. Oh no, Deadpool's got a chest burster or face hugger over on the Star Wars side. Endless possibilities. That'll run you $85 and also comes out in June. I don't think I said June for John Wick, but he's coming out in June too. But it's Medicom. It may be, you know, September before these actually come out. They solicited the evil MAFEX. Medicom solicited the MAFEX evil Gwenpool. Robo don't know Gwenpool, but I love the design. I love the colors. Regular Gwenpool, I dig the pink and white. I dig the animated looking face, the comic book looking face on the original figure. Evil Gwenpool just continues that trend. I love the purple and black. It just goes so well together. She comes with a couple of alternate heads, grinning and super grinning, but she also comes with another head for the original Gwenpool. This one has longer hair. The facial expression's a little bit different. Medicom has been doing this, and I want to be pissed off, but at the same time, I'm like, they're continuing to add to figures that I already have. And it's not like I'm only buying the evil Gwenpool to get that head for Gwenpool. I also like the look of evil Gwenpool. Am I a Medicom mark? Is that what I've become? What am I doing with my life? But she has a cloth cape. It's probably bendy. It's got some articulation to it. She comes with the floating comic books, which you can either put on a base to have around her, or it also goes in her hand so she can have the comic book floating. She also has a watch or a bracelet type thing for, this is how much I know about Gwenpool. And then she has a hand holding a tiny little Gwenpool, which I'm assuming is a comic cover or some kind of, you know, how the Gwenpool comics work. I'm also hoping that Gwenpool is attached to the hand, not like Scarecrow's Zippo, where he's got the Zippo holding hand, and he's got a separate Zippo that goes in his hand, and the carpet monsters are just sitting there waiting. Feed me, give it to me. Then she has alternate hands, and she also has swords. That'll be $75 and releases in June also. They're just going for a big old June. And then finally, the one I was waiting for. Of course, I'm always, if you give me a Deadpool, I'm there, I'm buying it. And if it's MAFEX, even better. Now, it has about the same look, the same design as the Figma Deadpool, but apparently they did purposely base it on the artist. But we know this Deadpool will be bigger and beefier than the Figma. The Figma, I've found out, fits pretty well in my Star Wars display, which runs a little bit smaller than my Marvel display. This, oh, may fit right in. It's listed as 6.2 inches, which a little bit over 6 foot scale-wise. Yeah, that should work. It's got two swords. It has the sheaths for the sword. I'm assuming that these are just the hilts with no blade on it that kind of plug into the sheaths. If you have the sword out, you just unplug. I know some people don't like that. I'm okay with, well, I don't know. I go back and forth day to day. I picked up my Revoltech recently, and one of those sword hilts just popped right out, and damn carpet monster again. But I prevailed. I found it. Yeah, ooh, someday. But if you don't want the swords, instead of plugging into the back, they actually gave him the straps going around the arms, so you can take that off, put it on. It may have a stabilizing peg or something, but for the most part, the straps come off too, so you can just have, not a naked, I was going to say naked Deadpool. A naked Deadpool would be a naked Deadpool. Just plain costume, no straps. He's either got alternate eyes that pop out or complete alternate heads, but he has the eyes narrow look, he has regular eyes, and then he has the wonky crazy eyes. Something new for this Deadpool figure is optional belt buckles. Need I say anything about the carpet monster here? When it comes to that belt buckle, yeah. It has an all red option, it has the pointy eye option, and it has the oval eye option. He comes with several sets of hands, including trigger fingers, but no guns. What is up with that? Now, we've seen trigger fingers that were meant to hold the swords before, but he has specific hands to hold the swords. So it's not for that. Maybe you're supposed to steal guns from other figures, or maybe they're going to add more to the solicitation as time goes on, which we'll talk about here in a second. First of all, this is $85 and it releases in May. Now, like I said, Medicom sometimes comes back and adds stuff to their figures. We saw it with the comic book style Spider-Man. He wasn't originally solicited with the unmasked Peter Parker head. That was thrown in later. We're seeing the same thing right now with the Avengers Infinity War Iron Spider. They didn't make a big deal about it, they just kind of popped it up on their own website, but it is now coming with an unmasked Peter head and an alternate neck piece where there's skin up at the top. Now, it's not great looking. I know. It's not as great looking as the original solicitation for the Homecoming Spider-Man, but we all know how that turned out in the final product. Up close, you could see the pixels kind of away. If you kind of, yeah, that looks pretty good. But if you actually look at it, yeah, it looks a little bit terrible. Maybe with this one, they're going with a different technique or something, or maybe it's a better printing process, or they're going back to traditional paints. I don't know, but it looks different than the original Peter head. And that's it for last week. Now, I talked about my shirts a little bit last week. I was able to work a deal with Ripped Apparel. If you order a shirt from their website and you want a discount, just put Fwoosh in the coupon code and you'll get 10% off your order. I'm a toy collector, but I'm getting just as many t-shirts now. I don't know why or where or how that happened. I just looked up one day and went, oh, I've ordered a lot of shirts. But most of my shirts come from Ripped Apparel. I get a lot of questions asking where I get the stuff. There you go. But this being Monday, hopefully more stuff comes along this week. We'll talk about it Friday. And if not, we'll just sit here and talk about whatever Friday. If you want to ask any questions, put them down in the comments. Maybe we'll talk about that Friday. I don't know. Whatever. I'll get in front of the camera and blah, 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 blah. But if you like this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.